Do not handpick positive and negative cash flows to calculate equity multiple. Today, I'll show you a simple SUMIF implementation which enables calculation of the multiple in a clean, robust, and scalable way. For context, equity multiple tells you how many times your invested equity is returned over the life of the deal. To calculate it, it's the distributions, which are the total positive cash flows, divided by the contributions, which are the total negative cash flows. On the screen, I have a simple levered cash flow with negative number in year 0 indicating investment, and then year 1 to year 5 show the operational cash flow. Within this, you would notice year 3 is a negative amount, probably indicating rollover and investment for the property. Now, to calculate the contributions, one way was I could have just summed up all the negative numbers one by one and then summed up all the positive numbers. But that's not a robust way. What if your negative shifts from year 3 to year 2 because of some assumption changes? You would require to change the formulas in that case. Let's use SUMIF to solve this scenario. I start typing in SUMIF. Now SUMIF has 3 arguments. The first argument requires the range, which has the criteria. The second argument requires the criteria. And the third argument requires the range which is required to be summed up. Now, in this case, the range which has the criteria, meaning negative cash flows, is the same range which we have to sum up. So we do not actually need to provide the sum range. What we can do is type in SUMIF, select the sum range, the range which has the cash flow, and then comma, just type in the criteria. For contributions, the criteria is that the cash flow should be less than 0. Sum up only that cash flow which is less than 0. And just close the bracket. You'll notice this actually sums up this 14 million and 250,000. Same formula we'll use for getting the distributions with only the change in condition. We select the same cash flow, comma, and instead of putting less than 0, now we put in greater than 0 as the condition. Now it should sum up all the numbers which are greater than 0. This gives me 21,903,000. Let's just verify. You will see this 21,903,000. I can calculate the profit directly. I could type in the same formula, which is for contributions and distributions within the equity multiple formula. Now, as I have laid it down, I can just link it with contributions and distributions. Distributions divided by the contributions. I've used a negative sign in the start because the contributions are a negative number because of they being an outflow for the investor. I get the equity multiple, which is 1.54. Now, even if this negative cash flow changes, probably, let's say this number becomes negative, you would notice the contributions are now automatically adjusted to include this number. So when you calculate equity multiple, don't handpick positive and negative cells. Use SUMIF, adjust the range and criteria, greater than 0 for inflows, less than 0 for outflows, and divide one by the other, and you have the answer.